What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tattoo Critiques. Recently, I asked you guys to send in tattoos for a brutal critique, and needless to say, our email was flooded with submissions. So pardon me if you guys see the dark side of Pony this week. Alright, as I said before, these are people that have asked for a brutal critique, so I'm gonna do just that, good or bad. So let's check out the first one sent in by Lawson Black. No relation. Thank God. You mentioned in the email that you did this tattoo yourself, and with skills like that, you predicted the future. I foresee you being alone for quite some time, because those lines are jacked, unlike your chest. And thank you for blurring out the nipple, because nobody wants to see that. Although that's probably more visually pleasing than this tattoo. Is this how you take all your pictures to send to the ladies? Are you tired of being alone? I mean, what else can I say? It is a pretty simple tattoo. It does look rather irritated, and I'm assuming that's because it's still pretty fresh and you're wearing a shirt on top of it. So hopefully this thing heals as good as it can. I mean, it's still gonna look bad, but hopefully you don't end up with an infection. Or maybe you will and it'll fall off. We can only hope, right? All right, you did ask for some pointers, so I gotta give you something. It's not gonna be much because it looks like you're fairly new to this, so you just gotta keep practicing. The more reps you put in, the better you're gonna get. I hope. I'd say keep practicing on fake skins, and if you're gonna tattoo somebody, at least it's on yourself. Maybe try your thigh next time. Those are generally a bit easier to tattoo than your own chest, and you won't have to worry about blurring out a weird looking nipple. Thank you, LB, for sending that over. All right, this next one is sent in from Rich, and I do believe this tattoo is on you, not by you, so I'm not gonna mention the artist here. They didn't ask for this, you did. And this is obviously a tattoo of a rhino with a crippling addiction, and you can tell by the powder on his horn. I hope that's not how he died. I mean, the lettering itself looks all right. Unfortunately, that doesn't carry throughout the entire tattoo. Rhinos are supposed to be massive and tough, and this guy just looks haggard and tired. And I don't know why.
I said, goddamn.
I'm not the biggest fan of the filigree around the border. It just looks as weak as the rhino. And from the looks of it, this is a fresh tattoo, which means this thing's only gonna get lighter, and again, it's gonna kind of lose that strength. There's not really any solid lines, or solid black for that matter, to keep this thing looking strong. I do like the texture around the snout, but the texture around the head just looks like a really goofy haircut. Again, I just don't know why the artist put so much white on the horn. I mean, this guy's gotta stand out in the safari. If I were a poacher, he's gonna be an easy target. Or he's just gonna be zooming around so fast you won't be able to catch him. Now it's all starting to make sense. I also don't know what that little shape is behind the horn that also has a lot of white. Maybe that's the bag. I don't know if it's supposed to be part of the filigree that just doesn't look like filigree. It doesn't really match the other side. It's also very hard to tell where this rhino ends and the filigree begins, especially on that back upper left side. Hopefully the artist of this tattoo doesn't watch my show. Let's see what's next. All right, these next few tattoos come in from Tom Withington, and these tattoos are so good. This slash tattoo is absolutely incredible. The way the guitar strings just hover above the fretboard, the smooth shading in the face, the little stubble around the mustache and goatee, all the little white highlights are right where they need to be. Tom, you absolutely crushed this tattoo. I wish I could find something bad to say about this thing. You also sent over a tattoo of Darth Maul with a little battle scene at the bottom, and again, this thing is almost perfect. And I say almost because I'm not personally the biggest fan of the way you shaded around the horns at the top. They just seem out of place. They don't really need to be there. You can give a border to those horns with a little liner or some shading. They don't have to have those black blobs around them. I really appreciate the attention to detail you had when it comes to Darth Maul's ear piercing, and I think that's something that maybe not a lot of people know of if you're not the biggest fan of Star Wars. But again, I really like how you set this tattoo up with the battle scene at the bottom and a bigger picture of Maul up at the top, and his eyes look menacing. Pun intended. Get it? It's the Phantom Menace. All right. Moving on.
At last we will have revenge.
But yeah, this thing is pretty dope. There is one more tattoo that you sent over that I want to touch on, and that's this Walter White. And with this tattoo, I feel the same way about the Darth Maul, and it's with that black shading that's around the head. It doesn't really need to be there. You can always add a light shading if you need to, or again, even a thin outline would do the job. But when you throw this black shading on there, it just looks like a haircut went wrong. And when it comes to that blank spot on the right side, maybe you were thinking, or you were afraid that it would end up looking like hair, so you didn't put it all the way around. But I don't think it really needed it at all. But you did crush it when it comes to that facial hair. I know facial hair can be a nightmare, and these look like tiny little individual strands. I think you did a really good job on that. Even the way the stripes on the shirt end off at the bottom, where the skin tone is going through the thinner stripes, excellent job again. If I'm being extremely nitpicky here, I did check out the reference, and it looks like his left eye, which would be our right eye, is sagging a little more than the reference. I think you just missed that key highlight on the upper part of that bottom eyelid, to where it makes it look like that eye's just a bit droopy. Also, looking at the reference, it seems like he's more bald in the original photo, and this one it looks like he's got some kind of hair going on. So I think you missed the mark a bit on that one. But all this to say, I think you're doing an exceptional job with these tattoos, and you're really crushing it when it comes to the black and white. So excellent job, Tom. Thank you so much for sending those over. All right, the next one comes from Taylor Surestone, and Taylor, you sent over this picture of Lola Bunny. And I gotta say, when I was a kid, and weird, I used to have a crush on Lola Bunny, but I wouldn't touch this bunny with a 10-foot carrot. It looks like bugs really left her damaged, and she was forced to hit the streets. It's a cartoon, people, relax. And while we're at it, that My Little Pony tattoo with a weed leaf has the doofiest looking face. I don't know if you did that tattoo, but it's here and we're talking about it. Anyway, back to this busted bunny. Not sure what's up with the little blue, I don't know if I'd call that a highlight in the face or what that is. I see that you put it in the tail and feet as well. I don't really know if that color is doing anything. It probably would have looked better just as skin tone. The ear looks pretty paper thin, and I think you really have to finesse something like that, like how animators make these 2D images look thick. But as it sits, it just seems like it's a piece of paper folding over her face. Speaking of the ears, I can't really tell where the other one's at or what it's doing. It gets a bit messy up in that area. And by looking at the flash behind the tattoo, I feel like you really missed the mark, especially when it comes to those gray shades that you have on the bunny. I think that's why the blues work so well on the flash, is because that bunny has the blue tone to the fur. And they also butted those shades up all the way to that outline on the legs. Like even when we look at the arm that you tattooed, it doesn't look as round as the one on the flash because of the blacks or dark gray shades into that blue. I personally probably would have stuck with the original colors on the flash because blue and pink just work so well with each other. The pink and the gray and the blue that you have here just falls pretty flat. Maybe try picking up on a little color theory, or if you're really unsure about it, just stick to the flash completely. She just looks so cute on the flash sheet, and you just made her look like a whole. You did send over another tattoo of a peach as well, and I gotta say, this thing needs a lot of work. If we look up to the crown, there's just a lot of areas that aren't colored in. And I know you maybe wanted to leave some room for some white highlights, which I gotta say are pretty weak, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't color the entire thing in. And if you wanna leave skin tone, you have to make it look intentional. But how this color ends and it's just not well saturated, it doesn't look good. And you do have the palest canvas to work with, I'm just saying. The lines on the crown are skinny and fat. Again, it just looks to me like you don't have much control of your lines. The pink belt as well doesn't look fully saturated. I just can't see the colors on this tattoo sticking around for years to come. The leaf is confusing, how it comes up to that branch, and it looks like the branch is running into the leaf line. I don't really know. And the same thing with that back leaf, it just hides the top of what I assume is a stem or branch. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to bring up the three-dimensional aspect of this crown. It looks very round on one side, and the other side just ends abruptly. It doesn't have the round side that the other side has, so it's not really making a whole lot of sense. How it comes down on the top of that peach doesn't leave any room for that crown to go back around. I think you could have lifted that crown up just a bit and rounded it off around that peach. But other than that, I mean, you say you've been tattooing for 4 years. I don't really see it. You just really got to go back to the drawing board when it comes to these designs because they are so simple, or should be. Have a solid design on paper first and make sure you feel good about everything before applying it to actual skin. And definitely before sending it to me asking for a brutal opinion. Because I will fuck you up! Thank you so much, Taylor, for sending those in. All right, the next couple are sent in from Justin Reed. And Justin, you said you mainly do black and gray sleeves, but you're trying your hand at color illustrative tattoos. And I gotta say, for not doing these on the regular, you pretty much got it down. I mean, you really beat out the other color tattoos we've seen so far. Speaking of beaten, I do really appreciate the fact that you use multiple line weights for this rose tattoo. I love the thin outlines on the inside of this rose, and you've got these nice fatty boy outlines on the leaves. And the shape of the leaves themselves, if they weren't copied or a stamped brush from Procreate, these things are amazing. Even the nice touch of gray wash shading in the background, I think really accents this piece so well. I mean, the white highlights could use a little bit of work. I would like to see what this tattoo looks like without any white highlights and just put that light red all the way up to the outline. The bottom left leaf does look like it's not quite attached to anything. I know there might be a little stem running from there, but it just looks like it's floating off in space. But overall, pretty stellar job. You've got some great saturation. Let's check out the next one. And here we've got Baby Yoda, or Grogu for you nerds. And I do like the use of the blue highlight on the right side of this thing, although personally I'm a fan of how Tony Savaro used to do it back in the day, and that's by using darker blues next to those lighter blues so it has a softer transition to the other colors. It just makes the design more three-dimensional and less flat. I probably would have used 2 different shades of gray in that, I guess we'll call it a lid, because both of those areas aren't going to catch the same light, so they're gonna look different. Maybe that back ring could have been darker, and then the one that's sitting in the very back could have been a little lighter. Just something to change it up. But I think you're doing a pretty good job here, bud. Not much to say about this one. Again, I think you've got some nice saturation and good use of highlights. I do think maybe you could have went a little bit bigger with this overall design because you've got the room. Yep. Good job, Justin. I wish I could be more harsh. Thank you so much for sending those over. All right, that's gonna do it for the submissions this week, but you know I gotta give you my favorite artist of the episode, and that was Tom Withington with this slash tattoo. I think this one really went above and beyond compared to all the other submissions, even comparing your other tattoos. This thing is damn near bulletproof, and you can really tell it took you a lot of time. It doesn't look rushed in any spot of this tattoo, and the face is just beautiful. So keep up the work, Tom. I'm a fan, and congratulations on being my favorite this week. All right, now it's that time of the episode where I give you a featured artist who I think you should all be following. And this week is no different. This week's featured artist is Gaia Leone out of Torino, Italy. And I gotta say, for being Italian, she really does great American traditional.
A fellow a paisana pizza!
There's really not much I love more than a well-executed traditional tattoo. It takes a lot of discipline. And by looking through her portfolio, every single one of these tattoos is just so well done. She really kills the fundamentals of laying down a solid tattoo. And as a technical tattooer, I couldn't love it more. So make sure you do yourself a favor, head on over to her page, give her a follow, and let her know I sent you. All right, that's gonna be it for this episode, but I wanna try something new. I wanna give my hand at roasting tattoos, whether they're good or bad. So if you wanna see your tattoo roasted on this channel, send it over to ponycritiques@gmail.com. Make sure you put in the subject line, roast my tattoo, and let me know if you were the artist or collector. And we might even have a special guest for that one. So don't delay, send me the email now so you don't forget, and hopefully we'll see your tattoo on a future episode. As always, don't forget to subscribe while you're here. I'm serious. Share this video with your friends, and I will see you guys next week. Oh, real quick, one more thing. Huge shout out to Emma Langvin for sending me over this shirt. You can check out our website here. There's lots of rad stuff. Go support a fellow creator. All right, see you next week.